Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. So this is going to be a very short update video on what's been going on and what is coming up in I think it's 9 new videos I've got to come out over the next year. Okay, so what's been going on? First of all, year didn't start off very well. I managed to hit a deer, which is a real shame for both the deer and for me. If anybody wants to know, the deer did run off, so whether it's okay or not, I don't know, because unfortunately it ran off and nearly ran itself over with a lorry coming the other way. Okay, so that damaged the bumper. Fortunately, I was already going slow anyway. I'd seen the deer cross, well, 2 deers actually. I'd seen them cross the road. They cleared, so I accelerated up, and then one of the idiots decided to run back in front of a car. Unfortunately, I didn't quite stop in time. So that's cracked the bumper, damaged all the clips for the grills. So I need a new bumper, and I must get around to it. But it's okay for now. It's not like it's hanging off or anything. It's perfectly okay to drive. Okay, so that didn't start the year off very well. Also, you'll notice there's no headlining in the car. That's because I had an issue with the hydraulics. Suddenly noticed that I had a leak. In fact, just up here. You might be able to see that actually on the camera. So just up here in this section here, it was leaking hydraulic fluid when it was operating the roof. Basically, that turned out to be a split in one of the hydraulic hoses. Now, after doing a bit of research, I had a couple of choices. I could either go for a single hose, now a company called Hell, that are better known for doing braided brake lines, do individual hoses for the whole of the hydraulic system for the E89 and others, I believe. The problem with that is there's 2 hoses go to that section just there, and I wasn't sure whether it was one or the other. Now, without taking everything apart, because of course, although we can see it now, but the headlining is normally covering over that, you can't see it. You've got to get into it. You've got to have the roof in a certain position as well, which means you've got to use the roof. So it meant I could possibly buy a couple of hoses. Now that works out about 180 quid here in the UK, I believe, for 2 hoses, something like that. Or I could go for the whole lot and go for the BMW package, which is all the hoses, originals, complete with the wiring loom to go to all the micro switches. Now this car is 11 years old, so every single part of this car has never been changed. I mean, every single part of the roof rather has never been changed. So that means that it's all as old as each other. It's always moved exactly the same amount of times, etc. So just replacing 2 hoses might not have been, it obviously would have been cheaper to start with, but it might have been false economy in the long run. So I decided to change the whole lot, go for the BMW system, change everything, and well, the job's done then. I don't have to do it again, and that worked out pretty well. It took me a day to do all that, and prior to that I'd already got all the boot sections out of the car as well, ready for it. So I'd done a bit of preliminary work, and then on the day, so it took me an entire day to get this sorted out. It is a very, very long job, and that would have been the same even if it had been just the one hose, because it's still the same amount of work no matter whether you use 1 or 2 hoses or do the whole lot in one go. But it does mean that everything's done. It means all the wiring loom's been replaced, and all the hoses. So I'm quite pleased with that. So also having, I mean, I've been getting a lot of bits and pieces together for future jobs anyway, but having all the boot section out meant that I could get on with a couple of retrofits. So since then, I've now done a ComBox retrofit, which has been filmed. That will come out eventually, because although I already had a ComBox, I actually mounted it originally on top of a glove box. Its proper position is in the boot. So I've got the proper bracket for that, and I've basically filmed all that in of how to wire it in and put it in the boot, etc. So that's there. While I was there, I've also installed the original OEM DAB module. Now, I haven't actually got it to work properly yet. There's a couple of issues, and I will explain more in the video itself if this ever gets sorted. Because if this does get sorted, if I can get this DAB to work properly, then there will be a video. If I can't, obviously there won't be a video because there's no point. But I've got an issue with that one. But it should work because it is for the E89 as well. So we will see. And again, like I say, I'll explain more in the video. Okay, so what else have I done? So after 3 years, I've also got the rain light sensor working. Now, in the description of my very first video, I said that I would be doing the rain light sensor and the interior dimming rear view mirror. I did. I filmed it, and it didn't work. And after a bit of research, a little while after that, I discovered that there was an extra power line that goes into the light module, which is what powers those two units. But unfortunately, I never got around to it. I've never got back to that job until now. I've got it, and it's working. So I've got the rain light sensor working, which is the auto wipers and auto headlights, and I've also got the interior dimming mirror working. So that's two separate videos there. They will be out eventually as well. Moving on from there, I've also now, even though I said I wasn't going to do it because they're quite expensive, I've actually done the power fold door mirrors. That's been retrofitted in. I've also got the ones that are dimming as well, so they all work in with the interior dimming mirror and then all dim down together. So I'm quite pleased with that. I've got a bit more done now. I've also done part of the extended lighting package. Now the extended lighting package is the footwell lights, the puddle lights, if you've not got iDrive and you've got the cubby hole on the top there's a little light in there as well. There's the exterior door handle lights, and then there's the lights in the speaker grills on the back here, little accent lights in there as well. Obviously I haven't bothered with those ones because, to be honest, I don't think they do much. I have iDrive, so I haven't got that one. So all I've done is I've done the footwell lights and I've done the door puddle lights. I didn't do the handle lights because, to be quite frank, getting the handles out, I had a couple of little small PCB mounted LEDs anyway that would do the job. But to be honest, getting the door handles out looked far more of a pain in the neck for next to nothing extra. So I didn't bother doing it. But I've got the puddle lights and the footwell lights, so that's going to be another video now. I did those as well. Okay, so what else have we got? Oh yes, PDC. In a previous video I did do parking sensors, aftermarket parking sensors in conjunction with a camera that displayed through my Android screen. Well, now what I've done is I've actually changed my camera anyway, but that's beside the point. I've now put original OEM BMW PDC parking sensors for the rear, parking sensors for the front, and all the associated equipment that goes with that, and that displays up on the screen very nicely. So I'm very pleased with that one. That will actually be my first video because that's already been made. I just needed some extra video footage, so I got on and got that done while I was doing all this extra work. Another one I've got, of course, is not of course because you don't know yet. The other one I've got is heated steering wheel. It can be an extremely expensive mod, depending on how much you're prepared to pay for a heated steering wheel. But I picked this particular one up now. It's not an original E89 one. It's actually an E93, so it's off a convertible 3 Series. I picked it up absolutely dirt cheap because it was in a right state. Now I've given it a refurbishment, and it's not, to be fair, it's not too bad. It could probably want a cover on it really, but we'll see about that. I did have in line for a E89 one, proper one. I'll explain more about why I've not got it in the video when I make the video. Right, quickly, I'm just going to butt in here. Right, I've come up with an idea. I'm going to do a few shorts videos. By that I mean 2, 3, 4 minute long things to show you how to do certain jobs on the car, or not so much jobs, operations on the car. I see a lot of questions come up on the owners groups and on the forums, etc., where people are asking what could be considered a basic question they just might not know. But sometimes the answer comes back, in my opinion, quite rudely, of read the manual. yeah, there might be a reason why they're not reading the manual. They may not have a manual for a start. So anyway, that's beside the point. What I've done is I've read the manual. I've learned various operations of how to do stuff, some of which I wasn't actually using proper myself anyway. So we're going to film all those up, and then we're going to give them out as like 2, 3, 4 minute videos, so something like that. For instance, one is that I've already done is I often say put the roof mechanism into service mode, but I've never shown how to actually do that. So that's one I've already done. It's a couple of minute video. It just shows you how to operate it into service mode, and that's the sort of thing I'm going to do. Things like how to use the iDrive system properly, or the air conditioning system, your buttons on the dash, etc. How to go through the menus, that sort of thing. So we're going to do that, and so we just put them out as short videos, and we'll pace those over the next few months. I think for that about covers everything for now. So like I said, this is a short update video, and I say hopefully these videos, there's 9 I think in total that I'm going to do. I'll bring them out. I'm going to pace them a little bit so they're not all in one go, but we'll bring them out as soon as possible. The first one will be the PDC one. So thank you very much for watching. I'll see you again very shortly. Thank you.